The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son, Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the I Am. Information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination, as they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the Golden I Am Age. This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters and has no human concepts in it.
The Sindelar Studios,
2600 South Hoover Street, Los Angeles, California. Out of the unseen, into the seen, comes all resplendent light's blessed queen. Quivering, shining, all dazzling bright, pour forth her light rays, illuming night.
gently caressing, calming the strife, soothing with her love each one's human life. She lifts all burdens into the flame, the magic presence, the mighty I Am.
See now her power, hear now her call. She comes, light transcendent, to bless and help all. Receive her in love, in splendor her due. Part all human veils and let her step through. Praise and adore her, great Queen of Light. Blessed are the children of earth to whose sight she stands revealed as human veils part. Light and love's glory, God's pure diamond heart. 1. Saint Germain's Evening Discourse. San Francisco, February 13th, 1937.
After the experience of more than 2 years in the earnest endeavor to convey to you that understanding of the mighty I Am presence, which is your freedom, it is most gratifying indeed, O beloved ones, to see the expansion of the light within your hearts, and that of all the students throughout America and the world.
Again I say, it is most gratifying to find that in all parts of the world, those books have found their way, carrying their light and their freedom to all points of the globe. We have been with you during the past 10 days and have, with the greatest of joy, felt the loving response within your hearts. We, too, rejoice exceedingly. I say this, that you may know this is only the beginning of the great joy, the great light, the great freedom which is yours, as so many have entered into it sufficiently.
To know there is really no limit to that which they may attain.
I say to you tonight, and I try to put into it all the love of my being, I congratulate you, blessed ones in San Francisco, on the expansion of your light, in spite of the seeming chaos that at times seems to be in your midst. Yet, steadily and surely have you gone forward in the greater and greater expansion and perfection of that presence of life, which is your mighty I Am. In your future work here, precious ones, remember that we are always pouring forth our radiance to you where there is harmony, but we cannot do it where there is not. To those who refuse to give obedience to the simple things we ask. 3. We cannot give our radiance, for without obedience nothing can be accomplished. Furthermore, we will not release great volumes of energy into the use of anyone unless we are sure that one will not requalify it with anger, criticism, hatred, or any of those qualities which are destructive. One day you shall know how great our love is for you and how earnestly we watch to guard everywhere. When the beloved messengers are prompted to warn and guard you, please do not feel that they are interfering with your free will at any time. Such is not the case, but as messengers, they must convey the truth. Always just remember that their love is very, very great for you, and that they will stand by always to give assistance. O beloved ones of the light, whose very heartbeat is a throb of delight from your mighty I Am presence, giving you life. Life! Life! More and more and more life! As you gain in your understanding and feel your authority to call forth this great intelligent energy from your mighty I Am presence, watch. Stand guard that you do not requalify it.
I am sure in this class as never before.
You feel the greater and greater reality of this privilege, which is yours, in receiving from your mighty I Am presence that limitless intelligence, limitless energy, and greater strength, more and more perfect health. I say to you with full assurance that no one can fail if he has understood refusing acceptance of discordant appearances and conditions, and will earnestly call the presence into action. All must have perfect health. It is the law of your being, precious ones, no matter what the conditions are, what the X-ray shows in anyone's body. The presence releases 4. Those mighty currents of energy in and through the body and sweeps out every imperfection that is there. Won't you accept it? Won't you believe it? Let the power flow through to bring you perfect health. It is essential. If you are constantly harassed by the feeling of pain and distress in the body, you cannot give your fullest attention to the presence, so that it releases the greatest volume. Therefore, sometimes one needs encouragement or strength, and I trust there is no I Am student that comes under this radiation who will not willingly, joyously give that. I say to all of you beloved students, never allow yourselves to be impatient with those who come to you for advice or help. Do not ever answer them impatiently, and do not ever refuse help. Do not refuse help. Do not ever say to one who comes to you, "You have an I Am presence, why do you not stand by it?" That would be unkind. You do not know the forces playing upon others which might have discouraged them. Instead, place your hand about such an one's shoulder and say, "My brother or my sister, my hand is in yours in the strength of my mighty I Am presence until you have won your victory." Go forth, call your mighty I Am presence into action, and I will help. Send them forth feeling that you are interested in their victory. We must know all that is going on, precious hearts, in your lives. Do you know that? Having entered into the radiance of your mighty I Am presence in this knowledge which I have brought forth, you invite us to observe your world, otherwise we cannot help. Therefore, if we see you are impatient, we try to pour forth the radiation. 5. Of kindliness that will give you patience and strength to assist.
Do not ever say anything or allow a feeling to go forth that would be discouraging. Remember, allow no one to come into your midst individually or collectively who breathes a word of discord or condemnation of this work.
If you do, you will close the door.
We do not wish you to do that, but we cannot prevent you, for everyone under this radiation is wholly given his free will to choose, and always shall.
We, with all the love and joy of our hearts, want to give you freedom. but you must make your call to your mighty I Am presence and stand by it. Then you give us the opportunity to, through your mighty I Am presence, intensify all activities until you have the courage, strength, and power to resist all outer suggestions that would deprive you or detain you from your full victory.
Will you not stand so firm by your mighty I Am presence and in it that we can always give the assistance required, whether it is health, strength, courage, or directing intelligence?
I say to you, all of you precious ones here, please do not accept that you cannot receive clear directing intelligence. I say to you, all of you precious ones here, please do not accept that you cannot receive clear directing intelligence from your presence. I have a great reason for saying this to you. There have been quite a number of students who yet do not feel that they can call their presence into action and receive the direction clear enough to be sure.
Now, precious ones, that is only because, knowingly or unknowingly, there has been some anxiety within you, which has been disturbing you, disturbing the vibratory action of your being, of your nervous system.
Therefore, if you will be still and say to your presence, mighty I Am presence. 6. You help me to be still so that your directing intelligent energy can get through, that I may understand, through my feeling or in some manner, make me feel clearly what I should do. As you do this, you will find, in some manner, directly what is the thing to do. But watch out. Be sure you do not, in the feeling, first begin to doubt that you are going to have the directing intelligence from your I Am presence. If you do, you start that vibratory action which is discouraging through your feelings before you actually know it in the intellect. That feeling of yours is rather an unruly fellow, but you can govern it. The presence will. This time in the class, oh precious ones, so much has been accomplished. I rejoice with all my heart and congratulate you. You will find that you will all go forth in such a great calm, confidence, and victory from tonight as you have not thought possible to be attained in your outer activity. We have offered to hold your hand until the victory. May we not do it? May we not hold your hand until you are free, wholly free from all limitations, feeling clearly, powerfully, definitely your victory? We shall be so happy to do it, always through the radiation of your wondrous presence. Do you not understand that we, as ascended beings, are one with the mighty I Am presence of you who are not yet ascended? And that is how we have to know all about you, in order to give you the assistance which is necessary. It is so very wonderful, you must get my feeling. With so great a rejoicing, I see how you have. 7. Become able to still yourselves.
In this class, such a radiance has poured forth, although you are not yet aware of it, but in a small way.
Do you think, precious ones, that the divine director would have come here in your midst, pouring forth these great currents of energy into your minds and bodies, if he had not seen that you were able to still yourselves enough to have the full benefit of it?
His great wisdom would not do that unless it was time, was right, was permanent. So I congratulate you of San Francisco and those visiting here that you called your mighty I Am presence into action, which made the way open and clear for you to be here. That in itself is a great victory. I wish you might see in the atmosphere of mankind how many blessed ones have momentarily had good intent but been sidetracked from this radiation by some vicious suggestion. If you saw the number who had been turned aside from this class by the vicious suggestion from others in which there was no truth, you would be surprised. If that had not been the case, this lovely blessed place could not nearly have held them. The tragedy is theirs. You, who have had the strength to come in spite of all opposition, have the victory. Oh, that all mankind might understand that all progress is due to their initiative. You have got to choose, precious ones. I speak to all mankind. Into their mental and feeling world, you not only must, but you are compelled to choose before the greater energy and power will be released to come into your world and produce the perfection which you wish. If you are sitting on the fence, you will not get much help, but when you straighten up your spine and say, mighty. 8. Amen presence. I am 100% or 1000% with you. Release your mighty powers into action to free me and my world.
Do you think for one moment that its energy will not come forth? Let me tell you it will, and with no uncertainty. But if there is wavering in your consciousness, any doubt, do you not see that you are requalifying the energy and the presence cannot do for you what it should and what you would like to have it do?
Now, many times, these things are acting in the feeling of mankind, mostly unconsciously.
The individual is not outwardly aware of it, but if you will call your presence into action, it will correct the condition.
I say to those who have been here for the first time, it does not matter what your doubts might be.
If you would call your presence into action 3 times daily, earnestly, for 5 minutes, inside of 10 days, you would have the evidence in your own experience so strong that nothing could turn you aside.
The condition is, owing to the mass creation about mankind, that those who are not anchored unknowingly listen to the falsehood about them, which even turns them temporarily aside.
Will you not explain this, O precious students, to those you contact that are partially interested?
Because mankind does not understand the laws and forces acting upon them, they are often deprived of the great freedom, joy, and blessing that is waiting for them. The radiance in this class has surpassed anything so far, and I want you, precious ones, to know that. In the fullness of my love, I say to you. 9. If you wish us to come twice a year, this year and next, we will come to you. I say for your blessing and freedom, do not be worried about anything injuring this work. All the vicious gossip does not amount to anything. Those unfortunate individuals are but destroying themselves. They are not injuring you or this work.
They cannot do it, but the pitiful thing is that they still think they can.
I want to say to our blessed friends, the Christian Scientists, in their churches, I am amazed that people who pretend to pour forth love would turn in viciousness against this love, this radiation of the light and the understanding of the mighty I Am presence, which is the source of all life. This is the first time I have spoken my opinion, but I say today, and you may carry my word to them, it is pitiful.
I tell you frankly, and you may carry this to all Christian Science churches throughout America and the world. Unless they stop that, they will destroy every church and its attendance which they now have.
I say this in all love and kindness. I wish to stop such a thing coming on.
For great good has been accomplished through Christian Science.
But I tell you frankly, every source, whether it is Unity, Christian Science, or whatever it is that attempts to bring disgrace upon this work, or condemns or criticizes it, will fail utterly, and their churches will be empty. This work opposes nothing in the world. It goes on presenting this wondrous presence, the mighty I Am, which every human being on earth should be delighted to know about and understand.
And because others have allowed suggestions to enter their ranks and fear that this would empty their churches, they have turned in.
10. Many instances in vicious hatred to the messengers and this work.
God alone pity them.
Unity has done the same thing through the claw of the sinister force which has entered into their heart center. I say this to you in all kindness, dear hearts. Watch, Every source that has presented some part of the truth that condemns this work will fail utterly, because the messengers have never condemned any activity and never shall. They have presented this in their humble kindness, and if people do not wish to come into this mighty truth of the I Am, they should not condemn it. I stated in the Shrine class that the messengers have carried forth bravely thus far, and by their powerful dynamic application have held their own protection and carried the work forth.
Now then, we shall fight their battles, and they shall hold their peace.
I marvel at mankind, who are too stubborn to believe the mighty truths recorded in Unveiled Mysteries and the Magic Presence. We never, an ascended being, will never use a destructive force. But mark what I tell you.
As described in Unveiled Mysteries, the mighty host of ascended masters draw the wall of light, and when the viciousness of the individual strikes it, their own viciousness rebounds upon them, and they must handle it if they can.
That is the law of everyone's being.
We do not wish to harm anyone, but we shall not allow the messengers to be harmed, nor this work.
When those within humanity have been willingly strong enough to carry forth to a certain point, then the great law sweeps in and takes a hand. So I say to you, precious ones, we love the Christian Scientists. We love all unity. We love all mankind. But the 11.
Viciousness that comes into their ranks shall not harm these loved ones, neither shall it harm the students of the light.
I say to you, beloved Cora Wickham, here in San Francisco, my hand is in yours for your firm, unyielding stand in bringing the light of the mighty I Am presence to your friends, the Christian Scientists. One day, you cannot care for them all, so many will come. Your loving heart and kindness will render a transcendent service, and is rendering it. Every blessed one of the students here and group leaders, I enfold you in my love, but do not feel inharmonious to each other. Whenever a feeling of discord or inharmony comes from one student to another, or from one group to the other, remember you can always know instantly it is but a claw of the sinister force driving in, trying to destroy the great good you are doing. Now you will notice, precious ones, the messengers fear nothing.
They are wholly unconcerned about all this silly criticism and falsehood which is spread by individuals, because they are not permitted to drive into this heart center of light.
I want you to understand here in San Francisco, you blessed ones, that we are back of you, the great host of ascended masters, and one day you will know that we are even more real than you are. One day you will know that we are not an imagination of this good brother.
You will find that we are very real, and we can be very tangible, but yet still invisible.
Do not forget that. 12. Some of these people who have tried to claim and prove discrepancies in those marvelous books will one day cry out for mercy. Mark what I tell you. We abide our time, but mark what I tell you. You may spread it to the world. No person, place, or thing shall ever harm or destroy this work.
It shall go on until every one of mankind knows this mighty I Am presence, and through it all have their freedom.
I say this to you tonight for your strength and courage and power and freedom. To us, the silly falsehood, condemnation, and criticism is silly nonsense and has no power. Remember, precious ones, to every appearance that is less than the perfection of the presence, say, you have no power. And mean it in your feelings, and you will have no trouble entering your world or disturbing you. It is true, Absolutely true. The appearances or discordant forces in mankind have no power except the thought and feeling that goes into them and feeds them with the life energy of the individual. Look, precious ones, in your recent airplane accidents. Do you not see that from everything which has such an appearance, a momentum goes forth? If it had not been for the decrees which the blessed students of America have given, that thing would have gained a momentum until a dozen or more planes would have been destroyed. The sinister force wants just such a thing to start, so mankind may not be in close contact. I thank the messengers and the students for issuing the decrees to protect the radio, because there has been a deliberate attempt that would try to interfere with the radio in America and the world, but 13. It shall not do it.
I tell you, my precious ones, in your mighty decrees, giving this protection for various activities, you are rendering a service that will go down through eternity. Then one day, when you are farther progressed in your life, you will see the service rendered and the great intense protection which has been given America and the great industries. Precious ones, you have no idea how those marvelous decrees have gone forth to solve these conditions of strikes throughout America.
Go on with your decrees. Call the mighty presence into action that they may never have another strike. Call divine justice to take place between the men and capital, between so-called labor and capital. There is no labor, there is only one thing, a divine service. Beloved ones, please feel this in your outer activity of the world, and you will release yourselves from the feeling of labor or bondage. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, you are serving this great I Am presence to your freedom. Try to feel this and let it take from you all feeling of being in the bondage of labor. You heard what Mrs. Ballard, our beloved messenger, read you tonight of my activities, which are rather the directing of great currents of great forces and energy than taking any part in the political activity. So it is, but America shall go forward. All official places shall be filled with the power of divine justice. And great harmonious activity shall enter into America and hold its dominion here. Mark what I tell you. 14. Do not, I plead with you, longer give power to appearances of anything, whether it is in the government or your individual lives.
Say to that appearance, you have no power. Mighty I Am presence sweep into it. Produce your perfection and hold your dominion there, your mighty directing intelligence.
My precious ones, you can render a service unparalleled in the history of the world. Will you not do it for your freedom and the freedom of mankind? I rejoice in the strength and power that is coming within many of the students, that strength drawn of the acceptance of the mighty I Am presence, which makes them a mighty pillar of light, moving through the world and spreading its radiance everywhere. So, I congratulate every earnest student throughout America and the world.
I pour forth a mighty radiance to them for strength, courage, and power to go forward victorious in whatever their choice of activity is, that they may fill the world with the beauty, harmony, and the glory of the mighty I Am presence in action.
In the fullness of my love, the first enfold you, O beloved students, with my courage, with my strength, with my perfect health, filling your minds and bodies until there is not a vestige of anything but love and harmony there, if you will allow me. We have now gone into the heart of the mighty I Am presence, the ruler of the universe. Let us abide there, and let its heart act through these humble forms, that they
may become electrified.
15. into the fullness of the conquering presence of the mighty I Am. Stand forth in its great calm serenity, realizing, feeling that God, the mighty I Am presence, is henceforth their director, their victory in whatever choice their service might be. Affirmations. Mighty I Am presence. So charge me with the full power and victory of your ascended master love in everything I do this day, that nothing can stand against its irresistible onrush and controlling presence. Mighty I Am presence, great host of ascended masters. Charge me with the ascended master's infinite patience and all-powerful concentration forever sustained. Mighty I Am presence, great host of ascended masters, great cosmic beings, and great angelic host. Seize, bind, hold inactive, and make absolutely helpless every person, place, condition, and thing that does not serve the light of God that never fails.
Keep them helpless until they surrender everything to the light and serve the light forever in humble, grateful, loving, adoring obedience, and thus gain their freedom.
16. Lady Master Nada's Discourse, given at the Rogers class, January 14, 1937. Precious children of the light! It is my great joy to pour forth to you tonight my radiance, my love, and to establish a certain quality which I possess in your heart and feeling world to become active there. If you will accept that, you will find its outer manifestation and see its activity. First, before I go on with that which I shall say to you,
I offer my blessings upon our precious children of the light, in their union, that the full light of their mighty I Am presence, amplified by the great host of ascended masters, may find its full activity in and through them.
that music, art, and the wisdom of the presence may act to bless them and all they contact eternally, ever. 17. Expanding in its activity and blessing.
I place my kiss upon their brows, my seal of love upon their hearts, whose active presence may be there, to give them all that life holds in its great perfection, released from the mighty I Am presence.
I place my kiss upon this brow, my seal of love upon her heart, for that great, very great service which this precious one has rendered and will continue to render, that she may ever be glorified with the great peace and poise which she has entered into so beautifully. I thank you each one for your great love poured out. She is fulfilling a great mission in the world of mankind. One day she shall see and know how great.
Tonight, we have such a sacred, joyous, beautiful opportunity to speak our hearts to each other. I call and enfold this precious one in my mantle of love and happiness, strength and courage to continue ever expanding the great light of the presence, that she may never feel exhaustion nor register age.
Tonight, we are entering into our heart's feeling world, that we may feel a joy and strength from the outpouring of love and kindliness, because it is one activity to which the outer world has given so little recognition. I place my kiss upon each brow, and will you try to feel it? I place my seal upon each heart, to help you maintain self-control in your feeling world, so that the greatest harmony in your feeling may be sustained, until the great outpouring from the presence releases its full power and activity at all times. May it intensify its activity as required at any moment. 18.
I offer my blessing upon these two precious ones, the child of song and the son of the heart, for their great service.
In the years just past,
when they were cuddling those little children into their home, giving so sweet, so wonderful a service to them. See how it was all a preparatory work for this activity, and I assure that service did not go unnoticed by the great ones.
Even as our blessed Jesus has said, Suffer little children to come unto me, and forbid them not. So they served, blessing those precious children and teaching them to be humble, to be kind, to be grateful.
Precious ones, who seek so earnestly your freedom in the light, I say to you, be kind. Say and feel only kind words and feelings. It brings such a great release of all the inner powers within you that it is exquisitely beautiful. This great preparation has gone on within each one of you. Now, we have come to this point where I too may be of assistance. Really, we are just a large family helping each other with love and kindliness. You feel so wonderful when that great love and kindliness is pouring forth all the time. As that channel clears and clears and clears more and more, so one day, as occurred with this precious messenger, will the light of the presence descend, pour out, and produce so-called miracles in your world. The joy is so great with us in seeing and feeling the mighty progress that you have made. Do you know, do you feel, do you realize, my precious ones who are here, what enormous progress has been made by your willingly and joyfully entering into the issuing of these mighty decrees for the freedom of mankind? 19. I congratulate these two precious ones for their courage and determination to establish a group of this kind.
It is very wonderful, and will be more wonderful as you continue.
I ask each one of you, never allow your human to make you feel there is anything tiring or laborious about this work or the issuing of the decrees. It is a joy instead of being tiring or exhausting in any sense. It is exhilarating and tremendously strengthening. If you will feel this for an hour, preparatory to your entering the room, then you will be most receptive to the great strength which will fill your being during the meeting. Will you believe me when I say that in the triple activity of the light that has been drawn here, you are receiving much the same activity that you would receive in the retreat? This is being provided intentionally, purposely, for your blessing and benefit because of your earnestness. So tonight, in the great radiance that is being poured forth, you have the direct activity from the Golden City, whose 12 rays of light are pouring into this room tonight. I asked for it, and it was granted.
Will you not carry the memory of that with you? May I ask you to bring the memory of it each time you come into the room in this group? Do you quite understand what it means to willingly enter into an activity of this kind with almost 1,000 people, precious hearts of the light?
To enter into an activity as one, to produce these results for your fellow man, America, and the world. Then to receive individually that which must necessarily come from such an activity. It is so gracious. 20. Perhaps I am revealing a secret to you, however, I shall take the responsibility. Why do you suppose the lotus is referred to as the 1,000-petaled lotus? Why do you suppose the name lotus was given to our precious one here?
At a certain expansion of the light within your heart, its radiance takes on the form of the lotus.
Not only one ray goes forth, but 1,000 rays. Do you not see that in the freedom of the ascended masters, they may use 1,000 rays if they will, and at will? Do you not see, precious ones, how great is your privilege in your earnest, sincere endeavor to reach this point and your ascension? It gives you the full use of the full expansion of the light within your heart, which becomes the lotus. Infinite is your ability, then, to serve as you will in your onward and upward progress to that point. Never has mankind in the outer world had this knowledge which our beloved Saint Germain has brought forth, giving them the use in the outer world of these great and powerful activities. Do you realize that unless you took the initiative, as our good brother did in drawing together those who were willing to abide within certain requirements, that this could not have been tonight? Do you realize that? All of the more powerful work must have a certain preparation for it. In mankind of the outer world today, there cannot be released the more intensified activity until the individuals concerned have been ready to hold certain obedience within the outer self. Now that you have been willing to do this, many things are possible.
Many things will be done through your activity, some of which you will know.
Perhaps many you will not know until. 21. Later, those who are willing to serve without expectation of seeing the results will one day see enormous results. To call the presence into action as you have been urged to so often, not being concerned about what the results of the perfection the presence will produce for you, is the ideal activity. Just live in the great joy of calling the radiance from the presence to come forth in and for you, and the presence will take care of the results. Often, if the outer begins to expect results, either disappointment or something of its kind follows. Individuals do not have the fullness of the great expansion which they otherwise would have if the joy is selfish in calling the presence into action. In leaving the results in the hands of the presence, except when you require a specific need, you hold the outer in perfect obedience to the release of that which is required. Now, do not misunderstand me in this expression, because there are certain things which you need to specify through your power of qualification and attention to take place in the outer world. For instance, in the healing of the body, if some particular organ needs attention, call the presence into action to take command there and produce its perfection. The same is true of the outer activity in your world. If a certain thing needs correction, call the presence into action to take command there and produce its perfection. The same is true of the outer activity in your world. If a certain thing needs correction, call the presence into action to take command and hold its dominion there. Those are specific activities, but in your general application of the law, if you will not be concerned about the result, but just go on in the joy of calling your presence into a sea. 22. Solicitation. One day you will, without solicitation, see the manifestation of the majesty of that activity which you have called forth. Perhaps in some quite different manner than you might have imagined in your outer intellect. Therefore, the wisdom of the presence acting when you call it into action will do things your outer could not even imagine if left wholly free to do it.
Thus, you can see definitely the two activities.
Remember, where there is a specific requirement, do not hesitate to use it. Call the presence into action to project itself at that given point, but in your general service in giving your decrees, do not be concerned about the result. Just have the joy of calling the powers of the presence forth into action. I am sure you quite clearly understand me. This is so important. In my ministry through many centuries, I have always been interested in the freedom of mankind. No matter what the cosmic activity was in which we were concerned, always my thought returned to earth, knowing the great need.
I knew that one day mankind would come to a point where there would be revealed to everyone the understanding, the manipulation of this great law of life, which is your mighty I Am presence.
I knew that you would be able to bring it forth into such ever-increasing action. That not only you would be free and supplied with every good thing, but the whole earth would be freed from its human creation, which has bound it for century upon century, thousands and thousands of years. Now this activity, O precious ones, will never cease upon this earth, never. It will ever increase and expand in its activity until all mankind has heard this knowledge of the mighty. 23. I am presence, because it is that which all human beings in embodiment everywhere seek. The nearest mankind has ever come to it in the outer world is God as an omnipresence, but that was not sufficient. However, when the individual knows that he has not only God an omnipresence, but God individualized, whose rays of light and energy supply life to the outer form, and that he can call and has the right, the authority, the privilege to call this mighty energy from the presence into action in, through, and about him, into his world of activity without limit. Then mankind has found its home, has found its clear pathway of light to freedom. Without the knowledge of the presence, and we know this has been true throughout the centuries, without the knowledge of the presence, there cannot and never has been a sustaining power. It is not possible. Since the individual is a self-conscious being, he must know from whence comes his eternal energy, his life, not as an omnipresence, but as an individualized presence, to whom he can speak and receive its answer. The law of your being, O precious ones, is not, will the presence answer you, but it is compelled to answer your call every time.
If you do not seem to receive the answer immediately when you call, it is because too much inharmony has been registered in your feeling.
But notice this, even though you are not immediately outwardly aware of it, when you have called the presence into action, and there is too much inharmony to act immediately,
It stands waiting until your feeling becomes sufficiently harmonized. Then it comes forth, perhaps when you would least expect it, into your outer activity.
24. You have been informed of the use of the substance from the secret love star and the substance from the ascended master's octave of life, which cannot be requalified by your human discord.
Then you will see and understand immediately that you have entered into an activity and that it is being released to you for use, through which the greatest service possible may be rendered to individuals in human form.
Unless you use it, you cannot have but a fragmentary part of its benefit. The individual who doubts this truth cannot have but a fragment of its use, for doubt will shut the door. I say to you, earnest students, be careful of individuals who give themselves unusual names. In the outer world, today all is simplicity, earnestness, sincerity, and loyalty to the light. So do not be misled by this, that, and the other thing that comes along, but stand serene forever with your mighty I Am presence. It alone can give you your freedom. Do not seek the many that come as teachers when you have come to know your presence, dear hearts. I say this in all love and kindliness, for as long as you allow your attention to be drawn here and there, to this, that, and the other thing, you cannot have the fullness of the power of your presence, which is perfection and wisdom. Now that you have learned this and have had the evidence, most of you and many of you wonderful evidence of its presence and power, then stand by that until you have the fullness of its activity coming forth. Your attention is powerful, my precious ones. Where your attention is, your life energy goes, even in the slightest thing. Suppose your attention is upon 25. The presence and the power is flowing through. Then you suddenly turn your attention to some discord. You have switched your attention from perfection to destruction. More than that, you have requalified the wondrous energy of the presence which you had been calling forth into action for your freedom. We try to make all of this majestic understanding so simplified that one cannot help but understand its true use. Tonight, as my love is pouring forth into your hearts, and Saint Germain insists that he interrupt with a few words. Saint Germain, Precious ones, I tell you that it is the rarest privilege for one in physical embodiment to receive the kiss of Nada upon the brow. Feel it, a rare privilege. As you continue in our rejoicing to hold more and more earnestly to the presence, with firmer and firmer determination calling its mighty energy into action, do you not see how you cannot long be in limitation, precious ones? It is not possible. A great, great law is acting, the mightiest law in the universe, which is your law of life.
Always keep yourselves reminded that when you call your presence into action, it is your law of life that is acting, which is perfection, always producing perfection, unqualified by human discordant feeling. Do you see, O precious ones?
My heart rejoices so exceedingly to see the many, many of you who are feeling this more and more clearly, and how within you there is growing that firm determination to allow no discordant thing to hold your attention for a moment. Oh, my precious ones, who are so determined to do that, you will soon know your great freedom and happiness beyond even your fondest expectations today. So I encourage you with my love, with my 26. Courage, with my strength to go on and on and on in the acknowledgement of your presence, calling it forth each day more firmly, until finally its great flow of energy flows on and on like a mighty river, carrying all obstruction out of your way. Then you move in this great pathway of light, clear, untouched, not knowing the slightest discord of the outer world. So it is your privilege. So it is your right, so it is your authority to move in this pathway of light, called forth from your presence, which prepares the way before you.
Oh, my precious ones, there is no happiness in the universe so great as seeing mankind, through their own conscious application, being set free.
O loved ones, tonight in the great radiance expanding from your hearts, blending as one great sun of light above you, do you wonder that we are thrilled, as your terminology expresses it, with the glory of your freedom so near at hand? Knowing that any desire which is constructive may be quickly brought into its fullest action by your call to the presence? Do you know there is no faculty you might want to intensify and bring into use you could not do quickly, if in calm, firm determination you call to the presence to bring it into action? Suppose we take one who has ability as an artist. If that one would take 5 minutes 3 times a day and still himself, saying with great calm firmness, "Mighty I am presence, these are your hands, this is your brain." You take command of this brain and these hands. Produce your perfection, your beauty through them. It will be done quickly. Then to the voice and the musician, "Mighty I am presence, this is your brain, these." 27.
Are your hands. You take command and produce your perfect harmonies, never heard on earth before.
Before you are aware of it, precious ones, you would be doing wonderful things in the production of great compositions. Do not be mistaken in thinking the first might be great perfection. It might, according to the harmony within you, but do not accept the first as perfect. Say, "Oh, this is all right, but let's have more and more perfection."
Then you keep yourself open for greater and greater perfection to come forth.
Precious ones, may I prompt you? Do not get puffed up about your requirements. You see, that so often closes the door to further progress. Oh, just be humble, happy, rejoice, and give praise and thanks for all that comes, all the time, calling for more and more perfection. You have all seen the marvelous changes in your voices since the great tenor has seen fit to come into action to give his assistance. It has been a miracle, so-called, performed. People who have wanted to sing all their lives have suddenly found all at once they could sing, and very acceptably. Furthermore, I tell you, precious ones, there is not one single thing your heart can desire to do that with this instruction it cannot do, if you will continue with firm determination to call it into action to produce results. The presence is the intelligence. The presence is the energy. The presence is the doer. The presence has the power, the wisdom, the authority to dissolve every limitation and all discordantly qualified substance, all except the points of light in the cells of your body. Do you not see, at so-called death, when life withdraws, that the so-called faculties and cells are 28? There, but no life. Just think, and will you permit me to use the word, what a frightful distortion mankind has drawn about itself in believing the loss of the body was death, as if life could ever cease to be.
So many of mankind have drawn themselves into such density, they cannot see beyond that density.
They are not to be criticized or condemned, but they just have to wait until something shatters that shell. Oh my, the things in the outer world which draw shells about themselves are small in comparison with the human shell that individuals draw about themselves through discord. You are having all of this explanation, the full power of the application which releases you from every single undesirable thing. You do not have to longer go on in these conditions which have caused you distress, but in great calm serenity, precious ones, turn with greater and greater firmness to your presence. Call its mighty energy into action with greater and greater firmness, greater and greater joy. In this firmness of calling forth the activity of the presence, there should be the greatest joy imaginable. For in that you know is produced perfection, in which you alone can rest in perfect happiness. Therefore, the attention to your presence, the acceptance of this energy, and the consciousness of its fulfillment in your requirements, is the greatest happiness that can possibly be conceived among mankind, when once individuals understand the fullness of its meaning and that it cannot fail to produce all they require.
As the messenger has told you many times, if your results are not what you require, say, "Hold on now."
There is something in my feeling that is knowingly
29.
or unknowingly obstructing the way. Mighty I Am presence, you take out of me, out of my mind and feeling world, everything that is obstructing the way of your perfection and energy flowing through to produce perfection for me out here. Then your results will be all you expect and require. Do not be discouraged if you find the result is not as quick as you would like or as powerful, for if it is not, it is because something in your feeling has momentarily obstructed the way. If you will ask the presence to take it out, it will do it for you, but you must remain calm and serene. These are simple and majestic laws, but they are powerful in their action. Will you not, precious ones, settle down into a powerful, definite application with such a firmness that your presence always answers, and know that it cannot fail? Then, as you make your call each time, it becomes more powerful, until finally the result is instantaneous every time you call your mighty presence into action. It must be so. There is not anything that can prevent it but your feeling world. So, precious ones, tonight my joy is boundless in my humble effort to be of assistance to you. This assistance which has been offered, with your full acceptance, will become eternally sustained and active within you if you will allow me, at your invitation, to give you greater and greater expansion of that which has been anchored within your feeling world. Now watch out. I see some of you thinking, well now, I know nada will help me. Yes, that is true. But do not forget, you must help yourselves. You know in your buffet dinners what happens.
You might go away hungry if you did not help yourselves.
So, is it? 30. true in the application of these great laws. If you do not help yourself, you may still be hungry. Do you see? All of the great activities of the presence are a duplicate of human effort in its perfect state, you see? In your inspiration, in your instruction, which you have received in the outer world, in the various avenues, all have to some degree helped you. Precious ones, never be deceived in any way. There is no instruction of the outer world that has ever brought you the simplicity and clearness which the instruction Saint Germain has brought you. He has left nothing unsaid. The explanation is full and complete, and if studied, cannot be misunderstood. But do not just read the books once and then wonder why the law does not act for you. Study them, apply them, become the master of your world. It is within your right.
Oh, my precious ones, when such powerful application is within your reach, oh, do not fail to apply it, so earnestly, so sincerely. Some of you will find quick results from your application.
Others sometimes will go on and make application and do not see any immediate results. Often you think, what in the world is the matter? That person over there is having results. What is the matter with me? Do not let that feeling affect you. You are not concerned with the other person's world, except to bless him.
Just go on in your application until you have your freedom.
The moment your attention goes off into some other individual's world, you are interrupting your own flow. Do you not see how it is? Precious ones, you can enter thus into a world of great joy and freedom because you know everyone. 31. Whom you meet and might want to help has a mighty I Am presence that you can speak to. If you feel you have more ability than they, you can release the power of the presence into action to produce perfection. This is the greatest joy you can have, to be able to release others from their limitations and bring peace, happiness, and perfection into the mind and body of the individual. I must prompt you, for I have seen this going on among the students.
Do not feel you must physically rush into a condition in order to give help.
If the condition seems to be of a serious nature, I mean invisible influences acting, do not feel you must physically rush into those activities, feeling you must get into action. Stop, still yourself, and call the other person's mighty I Am presence as well as your own to project its and call the other person's mighty I Am presence as well as your own to project its mighty rays of light into that person, place, or condition to dissolve it. If there be entities, seize, bind, and take them away, produce perfection, and hold dominion. There is nothing in the world that produces such results as that. Yet you stand back away from the condition, wholly free from the influence that is causing the trouble. Precious ones, I have seen some of you blessed students rush in where angels fear to tread. That is not necessary, I assure you. You being in this sensitized state, do not become afraid of becoming sensitive when I say this. Your atomic structure touches the aura of a very vicious condition. If you are not on guard, you will accept some of it in your feeling world. Instead of going physically into such a condition, if you will call on the presence to project a ray of light into it, you will produce greater results and yet stand 32. Wholly free. Many of you, if you go into a vicious condition, touch it in your feeling world and you may unknowingly connect with it. Watch out for this. Do not feel that you must physically rush into a thing.
Yet you can give assistance.
It will be a wonderful thing if you will do as we explain, and you will always stand free and protected. As I look into your precious faces tonight, It seems to me that the effort, if it may be called that, of centuries has come to its culmination. You and I have met many times.
Does that sound strange?
We are really old friends, but you do not yet quite know it. You see, we have met time and again in various embodiments where it has been my privilege to minister. So, in coming to this point, the condition has been made ready. We are just old friends reunited after a long absence. So tonight, in this great feeling, no longer can there ever be any separateness from me to you, from Saint Germain to you, from Jesus to you, from the Divine Director to you, from the God Tabor to you. One day, O my precious ones, you will learn how great is your authority and power to call all these great forces into action, to produce that which you require in the outer world. To cause the storm to cease and become obedient. To cause the rain to fall when it is necessary and to hold it in obeyance when it is not. To bless your ranches, to bless your homes and your lawns with the perfection of the presence, to cause your flowers and all to produce perfection. You might also ask to be produced in your yards things which have never been seen. Would that not be worth trying? Oh, if you precious loved ones in beautiful California and all climates of similar nature only
33.
Realized how one or more could go out and call the presence into action, to bless your orange groves, to bless whatever the activity or requirement might be. Right then and there, see and feel that blessing coming into visibility. In your recent activity, when the prompting came, if even the students here had suddenly called forth with dynamic energy, Mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters, hold in abeyance the frost, that it may not injure that which mankind requires. It would have been done. Oh, my precious ones! You can govern every outer activity in the acknowledgement of your presence in calling it forth. All of these things are simple, yet all-powerful and majestic in their action. Do not let your human intellect say, that is silly nonsense. Oh, it can be done, but only as you prove the law do you gain confidence and courage. In a case of this kind, you can protect yourselves, your orange groves, your trees and crops, and give protection to a great environment, if you will. As you call forth such protection in Lower California, or wherever it is necessary, then you too would have protection for yourselves. How we wish we might convey this knowledge to all these blessed ones throughout the whole of California, that they might have at hand constant protection and not ruin their vegetation and homes by the smudge. That crude activity has been a great protection, but do you not see how it would be wholly unnecessary if the blessed ones understood the law? At first, if enough of them had come together and issued these decrees for protection, whether it was necessary or not, these other activities could not have. Caused destruction. If the students would begin in the fall and call, Mighty Presence, throw your radiance over all these orange groves, and see that no frost touches them this season. Do you not see that it can be held in suspense in the upper air, where it could not have hurt anything?
These are activities that we know are true and can be used constantly.
We cannot compel you to use them, O precious ones, although they are instantly active, but we try to convey the feeling to you that you can apply the law in any given condition and have the results quickly.
We call your presence into action to give you courage and confidence in your application, so you know definitely it cannot fail and that it does produce instantaneous results.
Then, as you gain a momentum, you do it.
The privilege is so great.
My love enfolds you, O precious ones, and the flow of its light quickens the activity of the light within you. We charge it with courage and confidence, born of the ascended master activity, to sustain you in that until by your self-conscious effort you call it forth and have the results it produces actually within your outer feeling. In this way, you release the fullness of the Ascended Master's courage and confidence through the results which you attain. Oh, my precious ones, tonight my cup is overflowing with my great rejoicing. Oh, my precious ones, tonight my cup is overflowing with my great rejoicing in this opportunity to speak to you. My privilege is of conveying in my humble way some assistance. May it ever expand and bless you. May I ask this group to, each night when your closed group meets here, 35, to just actually feel our presence because we shall be here.
Feel the glorifying, electrifying charge of the Ascended Master's consciousness, taking command within your feeling and holding its dominion there so beautifully, so quietly, so serenely.
Then straighten up and just feel that great light going out everywhere, going before you and clearing the way from all obstruction of human creation and limitation. Then, in the great light of your presence, you move forward, God, the mighty I Am presence in action, which knows no resistance or interference.
In such kindliness and gratitude pouring forth everywhere, everyone will turn and wish to serve you.
Only when you set up resistance do people turn away. When you release love and kindliness, everyone will wish to serve you and be with you. My love enfolds you always unto the fullness of your perfection and ascension. Affirmation. Mighty I Am presence. We decree that every vicious force in mankind, the earth and its atmosphere, shall understand now and forever that it has met its master when it touches this activity and light of the mighty I Am presence and the Ascended Masters. It shall bow and pass into oblivion forever by the power of the 3x3, the unfed flame, and the cosmic light. 36. IAM Study Groups. Ask all student groups to give the recent decrees published in The Voice of the IAM with the greatest power and determination and the deepest feeling of their beings, that various activities within our country may have a special stream of light directed into them, to bring forth the great perfection which should be expressing through them, as they are activities affecting great quantities of people, because of their service to mankind in the channels of necessities. Then we and the students everywhere should call the power of the great cosmic law of the I Am and the Ascended Masters to come forth, harmonize, purify, take possession, and operate all such activities for the blessing and perfection of all, and demand that divine justice act in all of them forever, blessing the people without limit eternally. This service of making the call must be given by enough unascended beings now if America is to have her protection, illumination, and perfection. We ask every I Am student to feel his own personal responsibility and the need of this as intensely as if the safety of the entire nation depended and rested upon him alone. The small groups should not be disbanded when the large groups are formed, but should be retained and new students taught to do this with 37.
All the power of their beings, that America and the world may be blessed.
Saint Germain said to the students at the Shrine class January 1st concerning the group activity, one human being wants to govern another and set up laws, when the laws are in the books and in the group outline, which the divine director has sanctioned and asked be used. Some unhappy individuals have accused Mr. Rogers of having brought out that group leader's regulation. Every word of it is from the books or the magazine.
He simply brought it together, and it was blessed and sanctioned by the divine director.
Now, blessed ones and the visiting students and group leaders from various parts of the United States, please carry this everywhere for me. Any group leader that does not wish to follow that OUTLINE, please do not be a group leader.
We wish to bring a regulated activity that will be a mighty focus throughout the United States for the freedom, protection, and blessing of mankind.
If we cannot be obeyed when we know the law and bring before you that which we know will enable you to be free, then again we cannot help you. It is so imperative at this time. Tremendous protection has been given the coasts of America. Do you want to undo that, beloved students everywhere, and let this cataclysm come forth and destroy all, just because you will not control your human impulses? Now, precious ones, let us come into one great pillar of light in the future, and make this year one of the most magnificent in the victory of the mighty I Am presence that has ever been known in the history of the world. It can be done! 38. End times of great national emergency, do the students of the light have a chance to prove their dominion over the outer world and let every human being know the full meaning of those mighty words, the light of God never fails. Our aerial transportation is an ascended master activity. When anything tries to bring destruction upon it, it is truly a national emergency, in which the students of light should take supreme command. As this activity is so closely connected with the youth of America,
It seems fitting that they should take it upon themselves to make it, by their mighty power, impossible for destruction to ever touch our airlines again or any aircraft within the United States of America.
with the great perfection which is being brought forth in the new equipment now in use, it is almost impossible for an accident to happen through either mechanical failure or weather conditions. The personnel of the airlines is the most receptive to the assistance of the great ascended masters of any industry in the world, which leaves only one possible source for destructive activity. That source is consciously directed vicious force from those same individuals who would give their lives to see a single student of the light fail to make his ascension. 39. Therefore, it is the decree of the great host of light that never again shall destruction touch the great service of aerial transportation within the borders of this land. This same mighty protection should be rendered all activities of transportation and communication. Our great communication systems are included because, if attacked by these sinister activities in time of great emergency, the safety of our entire nation might be endangered. There are now in existence many ways of rendering radio and other communication systems worse than useless. The public utilities should also be given great protection, for they supply the activities of light and power. Think, what terrible distress human life would be forced to endure without light and power, in both the inner and outer activities of these necessities. The outer is but the symbol of the inner, and is in reality an ascended master activity. It is the duty of the student of light to issue such a mighty decree for the protection of these activities that they are forever maintained and sustained in the service of the light. As the great host of light come forth to prove those mighty words, the light of God never fails, many of the great commercial activities, which in the past have given expression to selfishness and greed, will face about and serve the light. Why? Because there is a consciousness in the heart of every human being which knows the only permanent victory lies with the constructive way of life. Therefore, do not hate these great industries for possible injustices of the past, but wherever you see anyone turning to the light and standing for it, send him your blessings and know he is your brother in the light. 40. Saint Germain's recent request for these decrees. And public utilities. aviation, communication, transportation.
Mighty I Am Presence.
Great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, angels, angel devas, archangels, cherubim and seraphim, great Elohim of creation, lords of the flame from Venus, gods of the mountains, and great cosmic beings. Come forth in thy limitless, most dynamic action of the unfed flame and the power of the 3x3. Take complete possession and command of every airplane and all activities of aviation, transportation, communication, and public utilities in the United States of America forever. Withdraw and withhold all energy, money, and supply of every kind from every destructive channel, person, place, condition, and thing within all these channels of service to mankind this instant and forever. Annihilate all such qualities from existence and blast their cause and effect from the earth, its atmosphere, and humanity forever. Send a cherubim and an angel with the sword of the blue flame of divine love to abide within and around every airplane in our country, the
41.
United States of America. Our country, the I Am country, the land of the light of God that never fails, to hold the focus of the cosmic light so all-powerfully within and around all these activities that only ascended master perfection can ever exist within or touch them forever. All interference with these marvelous channels of service to mankind shall be annihilated from existence forever, and the ascended master, perfection designed for them, shall come forth now. In spite of any human being or all human beings on earth, and their perfection and blessing shall be eternally sustained. Perfection for the United States of America. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters, great cosmic beings, and lords of the flame from Venus. In thy full authority of the great cosmic law, project the great cosmic one. GHT, with irresistible force throughout the government of the United States of America, and hold all individuals obedient to the divine plan of the great cosmic beings for the perfecting of America, the government, and its people. Come. 42. Fourth, take possession of all government offices. Hold your dominion and divine justice everywhere within our government forever. We thank thee, thou dost always answer our every call, and it is done now.
Mighty I Am Presence.
Great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, great cosmic beings, mighty gods of the mountains, Tabor, Meru, Himalaya, and the one in charge of the Swiss Alps, mighty God of nature and great God of gold. Come forth in your full cosmic authority. By the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the great cosmic light, seize control of all the energy in the gas belts throughout the earth. Turn it into pure metallic gold. Let its radiation come through to purify the substance of earth, its atmosphere, all nature, and the bodies of mankind. Let all be filled now with that pure energy and bring your perfect balance into all outer activity for mankind and the earth eternally sustained. For strikes, mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters and great cosmic beings. Come forth in the full cosmic action of the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the great cosmic light.
Blast all strikes and their cause and effect from existence forever within the borders of America.
43. And the world. See that divine justice is rendered both so-called labor and capital. Bring about perfect loving cooperation in all business activities, that the limitless supply of every good thing may now come forth to bless all. And make it impossible for another strike to ever occur again in our beloved America or anywhere among mankind. Compel all to obey thy law forever. Mighty I Am Presence. Great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, great cosmic beings, lords of the flame from Venus, great god Tabor, mighty god of nature, great intelligences in charge of the air, water, earth, and fire elements. Come forth in your full cosmic authority. By the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the great cosmic light, blaze forth eternally your full perfection everywhere in this work of the mighty I Am Presence brought forth by Saint Germain. See that the messengers and students everywhere always have clear, comfortable, perfect weather wherever they are, particularly during all classes and traveling to and from all classes. See that every person, place, condition, and thing in this activity is invincibly protected at all times, eternally sustained, and supplied with 10 times the money and every good. 44. Thing they require: perfect hotel accommodations. Perfect traveling conditions, whether by land, water, or air, and that all is used forever in the service of the Ascended Masters. Protection of this work. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters and great cosmic beings. Come forth in your cosmic authority. By the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the cosmic light. Prevent all the press, reporters, and all outer channels of activity from making any false statements about this work of Saint Germain's instruction of the mighty I Am Presence, or casting discredit upon it in any way. Silence everything of that kind throughout the world forever. See that the whole world stands back of this glorious work and gives it the recognition, honor, and credit that is due the great blessed I Am Presence and Ascended Masters who have brought it forth. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of Ascended Masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, great gods of the mountains, great cosmic beings, lords of the flame from Venus, and 7 great Elohim of creation. Come forth in your full cosmic authority, by the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the great cosmic light precipitate magnificent, perfect. 45. Imperishable buildings. Temples of the light of the mighty I Am Presence and Ascended Masters, into which students under this radiation can come together and call forth the Ascended Master activity of the mighty I Am Presence for the freedom, perfection, and ascension of all mankind and the illumination of the earth.
Charge forth through these temples such glory, perfection, and love from the Ascended Masters and angelic hosts, as the earth has never before known in any age. Release 10 times the money and all forms of supply that may be necessary with invincible protection for their perfect maintenance.
Through these temples, bring forth thy perfection in every person, place, condition, and thing on this planet. Keep it expanding the victory, beauty, freedom, and glory of the mighty I Am Presence forever. We thank thee, thou dost always answer our every call. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of Ascended Masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, great cosmic beings, and mighty 7 Elohim of creation. Come forth in your full cosmic authority. By the power of the unfed flame, the 3x3 and the cosmic light, bless the Auditorium with such an outpouring of cosmic light, love, and blessings to the mess. 46. Sengers, the students, the people of America and the world as has never been experienced on earth. Flood forth such miracles of instantaneous healing, protection, illumination, limitless financial abundance and every good thing, freedom, victory, and perfection, that the most transcendent accomplishment ever known on this planet will take place now. Reach out your great loving arms. Draw all here who can be benefited through this focus of light. Keep away all others. See that the auditorium is filled to overflowing with earnest seekers of the light, so that the greatest good may be accomplished in the shortest time possible. Prepare all and make all worthy to partake of this mighty outpouring of divine love. We thank thee, thou dost always answer our every call. 47. Future appearances of the messengers. Los Angeles, California, Pan Pacific Auditorium, 7600 Beverly Boulevard, near Fairfax, Saturday, March 27, 1937 to April 4th, inclusive. Every afternoon at 1:30 p.m. and every evening at 7:30 p.m. Special Easter Sunrise Service, Oakmont Country Club, 3100 Country Club Drive, Glendale, near Montrose, Sunday, March 28, 1937, 6